If you're looking for intellectual, informed basketball takes, and you want to bring in media that knows what they're talking about, look no further than.
Fast breaks, yeah, we coming with the takes. Never early, never late, but we always push the pace, yeah. And we really study tape, y'all just view the highlights. Man, we really watching games, yeah. You just watch from the stands. We run 3-man weeks, Paul, Dre, and Allen, yeah. Way more than a fan. We got love for the game, we don't have to pretend. Got it out the mud like you get it off the glass. I'm to run the fast break, throw me the outlet. Yeah, we got it out the mud like you get it off the glass. Time to run the fast break, throw me the outlet. We on the break, it's fast break. We on the break, it's fast break. Let's go.
What it do, people? Fast Break family, we are happy to welcome you again here on this audio adventure on this fine Saturday afternoon. Thank you for choosing us as we choose you. Now it's time for us to do what we do. This guy's crazy. Oh, God. You might have to elevate Nomad to friend of the show status.
That's crazy.
Anyway,
Former
for
cast
those
member,
who this
hold
is
on.
first time listeners, last time listeners, for those who are listening today on a whim, my name is Ro. I'm the hostess with the mostest, and you know this. To my left, America's favorite Haitian uncle, King Dre. Above him, goes by the name of Coach Paul, PRR Sports, Mr. 1995. And to his right, up above me, the professional, the architect. We call him Morpheus. Alan, the man with the plan. We are an ensemble that goes by the moniker Fast Breaks. Can I please get aboard?
Nah, Paul's got to go this time. I'm a little tight with you. Telling the world I'm America's favorite Haitian uncle. Come on, man. Oh, come on, man.
I say
that's an admirable title.
Listen. Actually, you know what? I'm a couple somebody's Haitian uncle. So let me get this board. Hold on. That's mad.
Jumping right in, fellas. It is our favorite time of the year. Baseball in full swing.
What'd you say?
It's our favorite time of the year. Baseball in full swing. The hockey play. Football talks are happening. The WNBA is in full swing. Liberty A&O, talk to me incredibly respectfully.
It's like, what did you have to do with this?
With respecting your tone, take the bass out of your voice.
What I want to know, are you like, what's the part of their victory that you're a part of besides support?
Just the 3 wins that I've been present for.
Are you on the training staff? Are you
sabotaging
the other team?
I've been on the court.
Are you running plays for them? Plays for them?
Oh, you want to know?
Are you part of the team? People on there? I don't know people do that. Fans are part of it. Fans are part of it.
No, for real.
I know he was one of the people that was like that.
I'm just saying. Man said, talk to me. I'm fine with the support.
You want to know how I'm a part of the team?
Huh?
You want to know how I'm a part of the team?
He showed up before.
He did. I don't remember.
That's fine.
Yeah, that's my homegirl.
That's your home. We'll get her on the pod. Hold on.
Get her on speed dial.
She's very busy.
That's tapped in, man.
But I shouldn't even ruin this. You all are attending my wedding. You all got your invitations, right? Sorry, Pod. This is a personal side.
Is she invited?
Let's just say,
Nah.
No way.
Nah.
You're lying. No.
Nah.
There's no way. You're lying right now. You're lying.
What's he about to say right now?
Nah.
You're lying.
let's say I'm in preliminary talks to show you all how part of the team I am.
What is this mean?
Can't guarantee anything. It's a real negotiation. My skills are being put to the test currently. I'm not even gonna say a name or because I don't even want to build hype on this public platform, but I'm in talks to show y'all how part of the team I am.
Hey, let me shout out Natasha Cloud, man. She used my song.
Big Taj. Big Taj.
Come on, man.
And finally, the other reason why it's the best time of the year is NBA Finals time. Can we clap it up? Season 2, we've been potting hard all year to get to this point. Y'all don't seem hype enough.
I'm not hyped right now. I'm not hyped right now with this NBA Finals.
Get over it.
I'm not hyped right now with this NBA Finals.
Tyrese,
let me tell you something. Tyrese Haliburton, he cannot keep getting away with this, man. I'm sick and I am tired. Okay?
Performance enhancing drugs.
Hate, big hate.
Big, you're right. You know what, nigga? I am a hater. Okay, I am a hater. I hate this guy, man.
Somebody clip this up for me. I want to see Andre's drop.
I'm sick and I'm tired. Let me tell you something. You said I'm a big hater right now, and that's correct. I am a big hater right now, man. I don't care. This is not the NBA Finals that the people wanted, and I don't. Whatever the comment is, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care what you have to say. I do not care. Because let me tell you something. It was not. I don't care what you have to say. I don't feel that way. I'm tired of Tyrese Haliburton. I'm tired of watching teams give it their all for 47 2/3 of a minute. And then in the last 1/3, Tyrese says, forget all that, man. Forget all. He's doing the Jokic meme in real life every game. I'm sick. I'm sick.
You've been a Knicks fan for 2 minutes. You're not allowed to be the
That's crazy because I was a Knicks fan for a lot longer than that. That's all right.
Paul doesn't believe you. I'm going to continue to drive the rift between you and Paul.
There is no rift.
Paul doesn't believe you.
And you're trying to drive that rift so that we could stray away from New York being the heart of the city.
Basketball and the city. The Knicks are the heart of the city.
That's why you're trying to drive this rift.
If the Knicks are the heart of the city, we are in cardiac arrest.
You see?
That's hate. You grew up. Listen, man. Listen.
Meanwhile, if the Liberty were considered the heart of the city, we'd be a thriving triathlete.
Wow. Well, I'll say
an Olympian. We'd be an Olympian.
Let's go Liberty.
The Yankees not even the heart of the city. It's the Knicks.
Anyway. So obviously that's what we want to talk about. Game 1. No need to bury the lead. Hallie did what Hallie does, which is a statement after game 1 that is properly stated that this is what Hallie does. He's had a game winner in every series in this playoff run. And almost 3 out of the 4 are jump shots, which I think this is what we have to do now, right? With him and Shea, they're in the finals. Now it's Paul's least favorite time of a player's career. It's narrative building time, right? It's narrative building time. And we have to remember Tyrese Haliburton in Sacramento backing up De'Aaron Fox. What was the narrative? That funky old jump shot could never be successful in the league. He would always be limited. He wouldn't be a productive player. Well, 3 out of the 4 game winners he said on this playoff runs have been jumpers.
Not just jumpers. Pull-up jumpers. That's a jumper they said he couldn't hit.
Right, pull-up jumpers. And defended. Right. Let's not sleep on that. They weren't catch and shoot wide open. They were pull-up defended
so ugly
shots.
Nasty business. But they are
so wild.
But before we get there, let's go through the game. Maybe not minute by minute, but let's talk about our early impressions when we're watching the game. What do you like before we get to the end? As the game is going on, first half, what are your impressions of the matchup at that point?
It looked like the Thunder were going to run away with the game and the series. It absolutely looked like they were in control. I think by the half, Shea was damn near at 30. He was like at 22 points or something like that. So it did not end the way I expected it to go.
Alan, what were the Thunder doing well?
They're forcing turnovers that they usually do. That's one thing they're doing well. I kind of got the opposite impression though from you, Andre. I didn't feel like
me too.
I did not feel like they were running away with the game. I thought they kind of were like they were up by like 12, 15 or so. I thought they should have been up by like 25, 30.
Yep.
The way they kept getting turnovers, so it felt like something was like wrong. And we could talk about it too. We could talk about it, but I think the one thing they were doing well in the first half at least was getting the turnovers. They just weren't doing anything with the turnovers, which was a problem.
Listen,
Oh, what did you see from the Pacers that gave you the impression that this game was not over?
they just kept keeping it within like 12 to 10 points. Like they would every time the Thunder went on a run, they cut the run short. They never allowed the run to get too crazy. And a lot of the ways that they did that was through transition buckets. And I thought the Thunder were going to be better than the Knicks at that. I certainly thought the Thunder were not going to allow the transition buckets, but they allowed it. And they kept them close. And then I forgot who said it, but some analyst said it. A former player that's an analyst said you can no longer. I think it was Marcus Morris. He said you can't go small against the Pacers, because what's happening is the Pacers, their whole offense is fast break and the seeking out mismatches. That's literally their whole offense, right? So whether it's through a pick or just a post up or just an ISO, they just look for mismatches and just like milk that, like they spam it. So late in the game, what happened is they would get the mismatch, right? Or the Thunder would play drop and the Pacers would score. Now, it was kind of mind-boggling what I was seeing, because it was like, okay, yeah, the Thunder, the Pacers are on a run right now. Like they're hot, they're confident, but I definitely thought that the Thunder was gonna hit enough buckets at the end to at least maintain even a small lead. And the fact that, like, if Shea hit that last shot, they would have won the game. But at the same time, it shouldn't have gotten to that. But the Pacers, they
don't stop.
They don't stop. They don't give up. They're annoying, but like I said, you gotta respect them. I said that before the Knicks series.
I didn't like the Thunder's approach, and specifically Shea's approach to start this game. I think making a lineup adjustment. I don't think it was the mental gain that a lot of folks are making it, that the Pacers looked at and were like, oh, they're already adjusting to us. I actually think that's championship level coaching, right? Yeah. Rick Carlisle and his coaching staff sat down and tried to actually come up with a specific game plan to win the series. I just think they miscalculated, right? Like, I don't think changing the starting lineup intrinsically was a bad idea. I think, like you said, going small was a bad idea, and it led to two things. I think Shea tried to abuse the Pacer guards that are known as bad defenders too much. First half, 18 shots. That's a lot. Now, he had 19 points, but it was on 8 of 18. He went 2 of 5 from 3, and he only got to the free throw line for 2 free throws. I don't think that is a great rhythm to establish for the team. You don't get Chet Holmgren going. He goes 1 of 6 in the first half. Jalen Williams sneaks out 7 points on 2 of 7. The best thing you had going for you was Lou Dort going 3 of 5 from 3 in the first half. But everyone else's shot attempts, no one had more than 3 or 4. I don't think that's great Thunder offense. You have productivity, but I think that's why you're only up 11, right? It's because, I think Shea, going balls to the wall, he's going to be productive against the matchup and give you a lead, but not a sustainable one. And I think that's why in the second half, particularly the fourth quarter, when they start making the comeback, the Thunder are struggling for offense. Because if Shea slows down, no one else is in a rhythm right now. Not anyone else. And so when you go to the second half and you look how that played out.
Yeah, it's a domination. Actually, dominate's not the right word, but it's a noticeable difference. I mean, the Pacers ended up outscoring them in both the third quarter and the fourth quarter.
Exactly. Second half, the Pacers had 4 players scoring double digits in the second half alone, right? Pascal had 11 in the second half. Turner had 10. Nembhard had 10. Obi had 11. And Tyrese had 8 in the second half. So they're spreading it around, playing the way they play. Shea, he goes efficient 6 of 12 for another 19, gets the free throw line a little bit more. But Jalen Williams in the second half goes 4 of 12, right? No rhythm, 10 points. Again, Chet Holmgren, you don't get him looks. He goes 1 of 3. Cason Wallace, Hartenstein, Joe, Lou Dort goes another 2 of 4. You're not getting a lot of shot distribution. And Shea's not getting to the free throw line to slow things down. So you're playing this up and down style with the Pacers, and now they're not turning it over. They're getting shots for whoever's open, exploiting the switches. I think you played right into their hands, and they're the type of team that people say this a lot, like, oh, the team is keeping it close for them to make a run. And a lot of times people say that. It's true, except that team doesn't have a run in them. They may keep it close, but then they just end up losing by 10, and they've been down 10 the whole half because the run never happened. The Pacers are actually the definition of the team that's like, if they're keeping it close, you're worried because there is a run in them in every game. It may not lead to a win, but you are never – it is very rare we see the Pacers get beat minute 0 to minute 48. There's going to be a run in there, and sometimes you can overcome it and beat them, but it doesn't ever not happen, which is why, Dre, you said the same. Like, I would never say dominate. We have not seen the Pacers in this playoffs outside of maybe once get dominated, right? They always make a run, and so that's what happened. Like, they did keep it close, and I wouldn't even say they kept it close. I would say the Thunder's style led to it remaining a close game. I wouldn't even say the Pacers did enough to keep it close. I would say the Thunder, the way they played, only set them up to have a slight lead. They didn't play in a way to get a big lead. They weren't moving the ball. They weren't getting shots up. Shea was just trying to cook and was being relatively productive, and they got a little bit of a lead. That's not sustainable. And so when the Pacers run happens, there was just enough time left, and they got it done.
Right.
Any thoughts? Any other thoughts on that?
Go ahead.
No, you can go on.
Just overall thoughts on the rest of the game, and I'd agree with what you said about the championship level coaching from OKC. What's his name again? Dang but the OKC coach. OKC coach. Right. It's out the way I see it, it's like two different coaches making kind of like calculated assessments, and Rick Carlisle won this one. What was impressive to me is that most coaches, obviously, we've been saying this podcast for like the last 2 weeks now. OKC gets you with the turnovers, they steal the ball from you, and that's how they get all their points. That's when they go on runs. To me, this game looked like a very calculated effort by the Pacers, which can only come from the coaching staff, telling them you got to go back on defense and focus on the transition D. While everyone else is trying to minimize their turnovers, which is almost damn near inevitable, they kind of like baked that into their plan, and it kept them alive. Like, I think I saw the OKC only scored nine fast break points that game, and for a team that had like 24 turnovers, to only score 9 points off the turnovers is like amazing. So I think that was a very concentrated effort, and I think that's a very like specific small thing that you do at this level into the finals that kind of like helps you win the whole finals. You know what I mean? It's little things like that. And the second thing I would say is that I low-key think Rose bright lights theory kind of reared its ugly head again this series, man. It feels like OKC,
With the Thunder?
With the Thunder. To piggyback off what Rose said about Shea and his offense, it's not necessarily just him, but like I feel like he was doing a lot because other guys were not doing as much on offense. Like Chet, I remember how much what he finished with, but I feel like he was not too aggressive this game. I feel like he doesn't have much, like on the individual aspect, I feel like he doesn't have that much offensive moves. So that just made me think about like what you always say about when the lights get bright, man.
6 rebounds on 2 and 9.
That's not good enough. That's not good enough for him. And I don't think he has the
only
moves
played
yet,
23 minutes too. So coach was not trusting him that much.
Yeah.
Which I think goes to that point as well.
Yeah. So it made me think about that, and the bright lights theory strikes again.
Which version of it though? The traditional bright lights where guys are scared,
No,
or my theory of like shots are harder? Like
shots are harder, and sometimes you realize you don't have the prerequisite skills. What you said last week, I like that theory more than like the nervousness. Because I think it could be a little bit that too, because he's young and it's the finals. You know what I mean? So it could be that too, but I think it's also
this is what I say though. Right?
Wait, can I just encapsulate that?
No, because we all had a cherry on top to get to that. But
hold on, no, but I'm not gonna go crazy on it. But I just want to amplify that and say this is what I mean when I say that the core of the Thunder's timelines are not matched up. I mean exactly that. Shea, even though it's his first time, he's ready. He's got the skill set. Even if it wasn't a good performance, 14-30, he's gonna go out there and get 38 in a finals game. Jalen Williams and Chet Holmgren, like they're not good enough is too simplistic to say what I'm really saying, but I think y'all understand what I'm saying.
No,
like they're just not
ready and not ready.
Yeah, they're just not there. They're not there to show up in a finals in the way that you're relying on them in their roles on this team. Jalen Williams is an all-NBA player. He went 6-19.
Well, this is what I say though, right?
Lou Dort played better.
I'm sorry. I just thought about this, and I'm just gonna. It's speculation, but if the Thunder lose this series, what are the chances under the second apron that they go all in to make a play to get Giannis to pair him up with Shea?
KD, I have said this all spring.
I don't think KD.
Going, you get KD.
I don't think KD gives them the same thing. And
also, he gives them what they need.
Maybe.
All they needed that last game was another player to get a bucket, to be able to get a bucket in the clutch. That's all they needed, and they just didn't have one. There was not a single player ready to make a shot other than Shea.
This is what I say though, right? I understand what you're saying. I just disagree that was the case. The reason I say that is because first, all right, let me say this first, right? I think that sometimes a series just isn't the best series for certain players. That's what Tom Thibodeau didn't realize, right?
No, that's correct.
Chet Holmgren.
How do you find a way in every first topic of a pod to connect it to
we need to start putting bets on how fast he does it.
It's unbelievable.
No, I like it because let me tell you something. The Knicks are at the center of basketball. Keep going.
Jesus Christ.
Keep going.
Listen. All I'm gonna say is this, right? Chet Holmgren, right? He's not a power type of forward / center. He's not that type of guy, right? He's more finesse and
he's Kevin Durant,
based, right? He uses his size over smaller players a lot of the time, right? That's how he gets most of his offense, or he's hitting the outside three off a catch and shoot, right? Against Pascal and Miles Turner, it's not gonna work as well. So Chet is basically gonna be relegated to a role player in this series, and I don't think it's a bad thing. I don't think it's a knock on him. I just think it's not his series, right?
But now, it is though, because would you say that about a star? Is there ever a series that's not a star's series where you just go, oh, he's not going to be good this series?
Who said he's a star?
This is my point, though. If he's in your big three, which they have proclaimed, they have said out their own mouths that is their big three. If one of your stars can be a bad matchup in any given series.
They're chatting, and listen. They are a complete team. That's why they're so nice.
They're not chatting because it's not. I'm not saying like forget whether he is or not. If they believe and they orchestrated and their team is organized as if,
are they really though?
Yes, I think very clearly
they are.
They have a lot of players.
Let them finish the question. What's the question?
Then you have to say that it is a problem because Paul's framing this as if it's a non-issue that it's just a bad matchup for him. But if you have a star, if you have one of the main guys on your team where that's possible, where you can just write him off and say it's just a bad series, that's a fundamental flaw in the strength of your team.
That's a fundamental flaw to him, right?
Which means it's a fundamental flaw of your team if he's one of your main guys.
I still think they're going to win the chip regardless of that, though. So it's not really a flaw. Listen, what you're saying, in my opinion, hurts if it applies to Jalen Williams more so
He didn't
than
play
Chet.
great either.
But I don't think he didn't play great because of a matchup thing or because he just didn't shine under the bright lights. Because I thought that was the case earlier on in the playoffs against the Nuggets. But then he came along and started being the Jalen Williams that we saw in the regular season. So I think it was a bad.
It's second round though.
Yeah, I get it, but it shows that he's able to get over his nerves and adjust mentally, emotionally, and play the way that we know he could play. And I think
At
that's
a second round level contest.
You listen, second round, he's a second year player, right? Or third year?
No,
Oh.
But that's back to my main point. Like the time, like
I think
everything you're saying in grace for those two players, I think is right and fair. I think in a context of winning a championship, that does not align with your guy. Your guy is here in a finals, ready to go get it. So either your theory is he's going to drag them there, or you think that these guys are going to have a absolutely outstanding revelation of how good they are this young. It has to be one or the other. He's not going to just like get by and win this championship, him being Shea. He's either going to go crazy and carry, or these guys are going to prove themselves to be way ahead of schedule. Back to our last week conversation. But if these guys are just on schedule for this level of talent at this level, this is exactly what we would expect to happen. We would expect the guys that are too young to get to the finals and look a little shaky. And you know what's crazy? That's kind of what happened to the 2012 Thunder. They played really amazing all playoffs, and we all thought these guys are way ahead of schedule. And then you get in the finals. Now, again, we didn't want to say this because the Pacers are not a Miami Heat, but they do have a champion over there and a championship coach and a star who's a little older and a little more mature than his career years say because he stayed in college. That matters. Miles Turner is a longtime vet. Who else they got over there? TJ McConnell is a vet at this point. You know, like it could go the same way. I'm just, it's possible now. We have to acknowledge that as a possibility.
Listen, but I think like I said, right, and this is the last thing I'm gonna say on this, right? That team is so strong that they could overcome everything you're talking about because Case and Wallace still can hit an open three. Wiggins could still hit an open three. Who else? Lou Dort could still hit an open three. They're so strong as a team. They're not top heavy. So they need Jalen Williams. Chet, just do here and there. You know what I mean?
They're going to start Chet at the center. He's got to learn how, if he's going to be relegated to a role, right? He's got to learn how to play that role.
Power forward.
That move was for him.
Power forward.
That move, but that move was for him.
It was for him.
We have to acknowledge that. We had to put his failure in context. They did that move to maximize him.
Right.
And it bit them in the ass. So that's when I say they're organized around those three being the stars. That's exactly what I mean. They made that move to try to maximize him, and he did not even be aggressive, didn't show up. So now you have to go back to the drawing board and go, okay, now what is going to be our advantage?
No, I mean,
and let me ask all of you a question. Do you think that the Pacers took their foot off the gas? I mean, the Thunder. Do you think the Thunder took their foot off the gas?
I think they misplanned.
No, because of the way I opened it. That was how they were playing the whole game.
I think they misplanned.
I don't
think they could have played harder.
Harder, no, because it was a close game. I think it's the style, the approach. That's how they started the game. That's how they finished the game.
I'm not gonna lie. Like I said, I originally thought that they were going to run away with it. For all the they were ahead most of the game, and it looked like Shea was going to have one of those games, and I was of the belief, and in a lot of ways I still am, that he might have the ability to carry this team. I really do. But seeing how the Pacers not only react to him, but react to all the failures that the Thunder had. We talked about earlier that they are a matchup hunting team. They're a failure hunting team as well. They will take advantage of you. They will take. You can't slip. You cannot slip up against the Pacers at all. Going back to the Knicks series, you don't want to sub out your starters. Fine, we're gonna run at the worst defenders you have, and we're gonna get them exhausted. And if you're not going to do anything, we're just going to keep doing that until it's over. That's what they're going to do. You want to keep Chet in? Okay, we got bodies. We're 11 deep. We got bodies. We got people to throw at him.
Thomas Bryant getting 8 minutes.
That's what they have guys that can go in and just make it. And they're bigger guys too. I initially it seemed like it could work out, but moving Chet back to power forward and giving Hartenstein more minutes this series, it's going to play out better, low key.
And to answer your question, Paul, I don't think. Yeah, I just don't think they could have played any harder because it was a game plan. It was very high ISO heavy, and I don't think they would have played any harder. I think it was just a fundamental flaw in how they approached the game.
Let me put this perspective out to you because I heard Draymond say this on his podcast, and I thought, he's absolutely right, and people don't talk about it. I try to say it, but he put it much better than I think I've ever said it before. We always hear people said this about LeBron, usually as arguments against LeBron, that getting to the finals is losing is almost worse than not getting there. And a lot of LeBron fans are like, no, like getting to the finals 10 times, he should get credit for that. And people usually frame it as like, yeah, but like then you're losing on the biggest stage all the time. And we have to look at you like that. We don't really penalize players for not getting to the finals. Like that's not a part of anyone's narrative, right? But think about it this way. He said a lot of times you don't talk about it, but you can get to the finals, but your team is nowhere near close to being a championship level team. You just happen to get to the finals that year. And if we go back on some of the finals lost matchups, we can look at that team. And when we really think about it, we can say they just lost to the eventual champion. But if you look at them, you can look at them and be like, well, you know what? That wasn't a championship-built team. Now, we suspend that thought when a team makes the finals because they could potentially win it, and you don't want to sound stupid, right? You don't want to say that about a team, and then they end up winning it, and you sound dumb. But I think there are plenty of times we could point to where a team made the finals, and after the fact, it's very clear they were not a championship-level team. The Miami Heat versus the Denver Nuggets.
Yep.
Yeah, they made the finals, but that team construction was never winning a chip. They made it twice. And both series, they were never close.
Benefited from their
I don't mean in terms of score. I don't mean in terms of the series record. Like, they were never, that Miami Heat team in either version was never a championship-built team.
Wait, you talking about 2023?
And 2020. And 2020. I don't care that it went to 6 games in 2020. That team wasn't a chip team.
What's his point in saying that? He's giving those teams credit?
Well, he's saying it was a conversation also about like adjustments after the fact, and he was talking about like how much losing sucks. He's like the other team goes on and wins a chip, and the losing team is kind of just like stuck in this space because you're like, okay, we were almost there, but he's like then the insecurity like breaks in, and you start asking, but were we actually almost there, or did we just happen to make the finals? And GMs have the hard job of being like, do we just run it back and make a tweak because we're close? Or were we actually not close at all? And do we need to make a fundamental change to how this team is built? And I was like, that's exactly what I'm talking about. It may sound crazy to look at the Thunder, who had a great run and who've made the finals and who have some historical stats, and say there's a fundamental flaw in how they're built. But in the event they end up losing this finals, no one will talk about it. But in the front office, that is a question that is going to be asked.
But you know what? And it's a question you have to broach very carefully. I think
of course.
Agreed.
I think back to the Orlando Magic, right? When they lost to the Lakers. That team was a piece away from potentially coming back. And instead of just carefully adjusting and say, what do we need? They almost entirely blew up the roster and didn't come back. That is not. And sometimes when you say, "Oh, maybe
White got hurt," though, I don't know if that's the fairest.
It's true, but they also made a lot of roster changes that summer that did not end up getting them anywhere close, and they could never fully.
But he was hurt that exact next year, unless I'm wrong.
In 2011,
I believe so. Because if we think about the 2011 East playoffs, I don't even think the Magic were like a thought.
Nah, they start to fall off right then and there.
I don't remember.
Wait, you mean the 2010 because they made the finals
No, they made 2010.
It was the 2010, 2011 season.
Didn't they play the Celtics 2010?
He played 78 games that year. Let's see, 2011 playoffs.
Wait, no, didn't the Celtics play the Lakers in 2010?
No.
Yeah, no, you're right. So it'll be the 2010 playoffs.
2010, 2011. So he would have been playing.
No. 09, 2010. Yeah.
We beat them in the 08-09 season.
Right.
You're right. Yeah, so it was the 2010 finals or playoffs.
Hold on, I got the bracket right here.
Yeah, I don't see him getting hurt till 2012.
Yeah. When did he go to the Lakers?
2013.
I think he had some injury issues in 2011.
But I don't think it was enough for them to not make it.
So the Magic were the second seed in that playoff, so it wasn't a crazy fall off in terms of East standing.
Right.
They were the second seed. They beat the Bobcats, obviously, and then they went to the semifinals. And I think, did they lose to the Hawks? No, they beat the Hawks. They got to the conference finals.
And also the Heat?
To Boston. That's nothing.
Oh, yes.
2011?
That's not a fall off.
Oh, in 2010.
Because an argument could be made if KG wasn't hurt the year prior, they wouldn't have got to the finals.
I guess that's potentially true.
Like Boston still ran that conference.
Yeah,
that's fair. But okay, anyway, my point still stands in the fact of broaching it carefully, because let's say you go get a Kevin Durant, how much does that cost you? Right? How much of that young core?
You don't need picks anymore. What do you
have any more picks to give? Oh, they
have 30,000 picks.
They have the most picks. The Suns don't want picks though.
Sure, but
so to add to Andre's point, it's also like not only do you want to like not break up your potentially championship team, you're also then mortgaging like your future, and we see how that plays out for a lot of teams too.
This
like,
is the future, though. Aren't you in the future? You're in the finals right now.
You kind of are, but if you think about like your point, you're saying like maybe we're not really a finals team, and that may be the case for them. We just happen to get there, but at the very least, you have a young core of like potentially stars. Do you really want to?
So then here's my question to you, Alan. Then that means you're making a prediction about how long Shea is going to play at this level.
Yes, but that's the risk we take. That's the risk we take. I mean, like having an NBA team is hard. Like there's a window for everything.
Yeah, these are tough questions.
He's not old. I think he's dragging this time.
He's not old. It's not obvious.
It's not even necessarily about him. It's just, and I've said this at the beginning of the year. Every team in the NBA has a very immediate window right now, and it's about 3 years, because in about 3 years, Wemby's going to figure it out, and they're going to get him a running mate that's going to make
this West is not getting sweet. West is only
not getting sweet at all. Wemby is coming up, and people need to be aware. Like, it's a win now for a lot of teams.
Not to be a homer, but we're not going to act like this conference doesn't still belong to Luka Doncic.
We're definitely going to act like
that. Listen to me. Listen, I'm not even saying this from a Lakers standpoint, right? Because I would say this if he was still on the Mavs. If they had all the injuries and it was just Luka, I would say, okay, y'all caught a break that he didn't have a healthy team. I'm framing it from what happened. I'm saying y'all caught a break that there was a mid-season trade and they did their best to figure it out. Because this playoff run versus what Luka did last year, Paul, you said this before, Luka is already one of the greatest playoff performers of all time.
That's correct.
Yeah. Right now in this playoffs, there are 5 different players, I think 6 different players that lead the 6 top statistical categories in the playoffs. Last year, Luka led in all of them. All of them.
That's 1 year.
Points, rebounds, assists, steals, all of them. Free throws, he led it. So when this guy's right and has got a good situation, it's his conference. So forget Wemby in a few years. The Thunder got to think about what if Luka comes back right and the Lakers put a solid team around him. What are we about to do?
So actually, to take a step back, the Thunder Big Three, they're not that far in age. They're not. I thought like Chet
right.
was 20.
Yeah.
I thought Chet was like 20 or
It's not
something.
about
He's
age.
actually
It's not
20.
about age. It's not about
Chet's
age. It's about
23, right?
readiness. You're talking about an MVP versus guys that look good. They look good.
But that goes. I'm talking about specifically for like as far as timeline goes. I think they're all pretty much on the same timeline now. But then the question becomes, are they good enough? So I think it goes back to that. But I think as far as timeline goes, I think they're all pretty much on the same timeline.
How can you be on the same timeline if I'm winning MVPs and my co-stars aren't even all-stars?
Then that means they're not that
Williams
good.
was
And it goes back to your question then. So you have to like change and see.
Wait. Jay
Well,
was
that's
an
what I mean by
all-star.
timelines. I don't mean rate of development. I mean like where they are.
Yes, Gordon.
Where Shea is I'm an MVP ready to win a chip right now. I'm that good. Unless we think Jalen Williams is going to go third team to a first team jump next year, or Chet is going to go from looks good to like an all-star next year, fringe all NBA, like fourth team. Unless we think those jumps are on their schedule, which I would not argue. I don't see a first team jump for Jalen Williams. I don't see Chet being an all-star next year. He didn't even really have a rookie year. Technically, this is his rookie year.
I don't think he has to be first team. First and foremost, Chet still early on was still dealing with injuries. This is his first full year, really, and he's still figuring it out to make it to the finals and still be able to. But I don't think that makes him like the timeline that we're really worried about right now is Jalen Williams. And
sure, let's go there then. Let's talk about
Jalen Williams. He was an all-star. He was third team. Okay, and he's somebody that I think if they end up losing, it's a couple adjustments he has to make over the summer. I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. I would say right now, currently in June 7th, 2025, you are correct. Their timelines are a little bit further off, but if they lose and give them a summer, I think they can get in sync.
Where do you rank those two in terms of duos in the league right now?
In terms of duos?
Yeah. Everyone healthy. Forget the team. Forget the team. Ranking purely duos.
I mean,
where do you rank those two?
I got to think about it. I mean, Cat and Jalen above them.
Sure.
I put Luka and LeBron above them.
Of course.
I don't put Giannis and Dame above them.
Agreed. Healthy Tatum and Brown.
Healthy Tatum and Brown definitely above them.
So they're already at maybe fifth?
4 or 5, yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Healthy Steph and Jimmy?
No.
They almost would have been in this finals if Steph didn't hurt. I have an argument to that.
That's honestly,
there's a strong argument for that. If Steph doesn't,
I don't know.
Down,
I don't know if it's that. I don't know. I don't know if I necessarily consider him a duo, but I see why you.
I mean, it is though. It is.
I see why. Honestly,
again, this West is not sweet, right? Like a lot of breaks got caught. For all the breaks we want to give the Celtics last year, we give the Thunder a lot of credit because they walked through a healthy Jokic, and they deserve that credit. Sure. Right. But in the West, there's a lot more than Jokic that you typically would have to get through. You typically got to get through LeBron. You typically got to get through Jokic. You typically got to get through Steph.
Right.
And they didn't have to do that. All they had to get through was Jokic and an Ant who's not ready yet also.
Right.
That might not be the case next year. Is Jalen Williams ready to be the second best player versus the second best player being a LeBron?
Here's the thing, though, right? Here's the thing. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though, right? The uncomfortable thing that we don't want to admit because we're on a podcast, I think, is that we just got to wait and see.
No, of course, but that's all we're doing is projecting and theorizing, obviously.
Because the answer could be yes by game 2.
He could prove it. There's still plenty of room. You're right. He could prove it.
Yeah.
But in terms of reaction to game 1, I think it's right for us to be in this mindset of like, now these are questions. That's part of how bright the lights are. After every game in the finals, your whole team now we started to analyze everything about it.
Nitpicking
everything about it.
Yeah, of course. But the thing is, sorry, Alan, you go and I'll go after.
I was gonna say if the Thunder lose, it's just going to get even worse for them. It's going to be analyzed even greater, and I think,
like Draymond
I don't know if
said,
Sam Presti would do it. Yeah, I don't know if Sam Presti would do it, but a lot of GMs would then fall into that trap of you gotta shake things up. But
The Celtics
we
in
also got to
22.
remember.
What were we
Yeah,
saying?
we also got to remember this is a championship window. We got to remember that too. It's not just
not a
making
year,
bigger
it's a
this
window.
year. And I know what you're saying about the teams coming back, but like other teams getting like that's not going to be as sweet. But they could also get better. You know what I mean? So I just want the GMs to like think about that sometimes too. God, it's a damn near a tragedy to me when teams shorten up like their championship window. If you trade for Kevin Durant after making the finals and you're giving up these young guys, like I know what you're saying about, we're not going to see him do it. I agree with you. He's not going to jump from third team to first team like next year. But in 2-3 years, when they're all still in their prime, that could be a jump. And you're going to mess that up if you trade him.
And so, but imagine if you're a GM. I'm not saying Shea's going to go in and say make changes, but let's say they lose and you have your exit conference. You're going to sit down and look Shea in the face and be like, hey, listen, like, I know we made the finals, but like, we're probably going to be good enough to get it done in like 2 to 3 years.
I think they're good enough to go back next year. I know,
but I'm just saying, if what Alan just said, I'm saying, imagine telling Shea that after this season, winning an MVP. I was just in my finals, telling him we'll be ready in 2 to 3 years.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
I don't think that's the conversation, though.
The conversation is we're not going to be ready in 2 or 3 years. It's like we're ready now. We just lost. There's things we got to fix on. There's little things we got to fix on. We're going to be ready now, but we're also going to be ready for next year, year after that.
That sounds like the ant conversation of I'm going to get to do this many more times.
Well, you don't sit and do nothing. You improve your team in different ways, but there's little things you improve on. You don't make a major change. You don't sit and do nothing. If I'm Sam Price, I'm not going to be like, we made the finals this year. Let's run it completely back. No changes at all. You make the little changes, whatever they are.
Well, to your point,
can I add in something?
But to your point, a great example of that, just because I don't want to be like I'm not on a side. I just want to keep stoking the conversation. A credit to y'all's point would be the Celtics, because in 22 that was the exact conversation. Yes. Oh, this Tatum Brown duo is not going to get it done. One of them is not ready. People debated which one of them wasn't ready. Yada yada yada. They keep it together and they just go get Drew Holiday.
Right.
And you win a chip that year.
And play against injured teams every round.
Here's the difference. Remember but
that's the luck you need. I mean, like I said, that's the luck you need. There was luck in the Thunder making this year.
100%. But so that was
they didn't have to face Luka or Steph.
So initially, right? And I like that you brought up the Drew Holiday point, because when I said Kevin Durant, it wasn't necessarily to say that there are no changes to make, even though I don't actually believe there are a lot of changes that the Thunder need to make, if any. The question is, what are you giving up to get that change? If we go to the Celtics point, right? They took Marcus Smart, right? And Drew Holiday is the Michael Jordan of Marcus Smart's. That's what you traded up for, and it didn't cost you anything.
Well, that's why I didn't want to talk about Jalen Williams, because I think you obviously keep him. That's why my proposal has always been Chet and picks. Because we all agreed that Chet is the furthest back on this timeline, right?
I agree. But so that's the other side.
That's why I say Chet and picks, it feels like a major change, but you're just taking a future KD and getting current KD.
And I don't think you make that. And here's why that's problematic.
You still got the youth of Jalen to keep your future.
Here's the thing, and this is the problem with it, right?
Oh man.
And again, this becomes specific to Kevin Durant. I don't know that while Kevin Durant has the skills, he doesn't have the habits to take a team to win a championship.
Oh, he
doesn't have to. It's Shea's team.
Yeah, and Shea needs somebody that's going to be like, I'm dead ass. I'm dead ass. He doesn't have the habits.
Yo, when he says that, you know.
I know. You guys know. I souped him up.
He doesn't have the habits. He needs to be on a team that's already proven to be a championship. We can win a championship without you. I'm the cherry on top. If you get rid of Shea,
that's exactly what he would be on this team.
If you get no, because I keep going back. What are you giving up? And no one's answering the question.
I literally told you Chet and picks several times.
No one's taking Chet. The Suns aren't taking Chet and picks. Let's be honest.
I would. Oh God, if I was the Suns, I'd take Chet and picks.
They're not. You know what they're going to ask for? Off
of KD.
It's going to be Chet. It's going to be Jalen Williams, and it's going to be that's the ask.
The salary doesn't even match up to do all that.
You know the
Haven't
Suns
seen
are
anything
trying
much
to
of.
be good still, right?
Yeah, I would get
championship
KD
contenders,
off
right?
my team and give
To be good?
Devin Booker a young big again. Since you wanted to trade away DeAndre Hunt, what's his name?
Ayton, DeAndre Ayton.
Ayton.
So now you're depending on
Did Devin
Bradley
Booker not have his
Beal,
best years with a young, talented center?
but now you're depending on Bradley
I
Beal.
forgot about Bradley Beal.
Yeah, to come back into Wizards form.
Yeah, get a perimeter player off this team that's taking perimeter action away from Bradley Beal, and get back to having a young, talented big. So now you have paint presence, but who can also spread the floor, put the ball in Devin's hands, and then Bradley Beal is your dominant off-ball scorer.
Still risky because when was the last time we
For
saw
the
Bradley
reasons
Beal?
we saw in game one.
Than what they have going right now.
No, but when was the last time we saw
we keep
Bradley Beal
calling
be
Chet
like
a
that?
big.
That's the question.
Is Chet really
A year ago.
Hold on. We keep calling Chet
What are we
a
talking
big.
about?
Wait a
He
second.
was averaging 28 last year.
Wait a second.
Okay.
We keep
Two
calling
years.
Chet a big.
2 years.
Okay,
Right?
we keep calling Chet a big, and then we're making comparisons to Kevin Durant. And then last game, we saw him go against real bigs. We saw him go against legitimate bigs and suffered. He didn't know what to do. Chet is not a big.
You say KD, but he's not KD. He's better shooting AD.
He's no.
I like that.
I don't know that I like that. I don't know that.
Yes,
I
he
agree with
is.
that.
I like that.
He's better
I do like
shooting
that.
AD.
Because AD will
And not even that better shooting, because if you remember, young AD had a jumper.
Did you ever see AD put up AD's been to the finals. You ever see AD put up a stat line
AD
like
was
that?
28.
That's fair. That's true. He was older.
What are we talking about?
He was older. He was. But even in his first playoff run, you don't see him put a stat line like that.
He was like 25.
In his first playoff run, I thought he got to the playoffs
The
early.
Pelicans weren't making the playoffs when he got drafted.
That's a fact. I didn't think it was that much longer.
It was a while.
It could
he had to get Rondo, Drew Holiday,
Oh,
DeMarcus Cousins.
Hold on.
You remember that team? That team was so crazy.
That was very nice. That was a good
DeMarcus
2K
Cousins
team.
was so nice.
That was a
What?
very
Did he
nice
get injured?
What are you
That year,
talking
huh?
about, bro?
That's the year he got injured. That's the year he got
JJ
injured.
Redick, he had to get talent.
Yeah, for 1 year. Was Julius on that team, or was that the next year?
I think that was the next season.
Yeah, the next year. Julius came after AD left.
Yeah.
No. He
No,
played
they
with
played
AD
together. They played together.
He did?
for 1
They
year.
played together?
1 year.
For 1 year, yeah, for 1 year.
Yeah, then he dipped. Got the bag.
Yeah, man. No, he's AD with
He made it.
I mean-
Hold on. He made his first playoffs in 2014. What are you talking about?
How old was he?
He would have
Was
only
that-
been
was that
like
his second
21.
year?
That's his
24.
third year.
this is
Third
third
year.
year.
He
Actually,
would have been
22.
he got-
This
He got-
is
no,
Chet's
he-
first real year.
He would have been like 22.
he would have been 20. He got drafted young. Remember, I think he was like 18.
He was.
but it was like
remember,
2011.
It's still not a good comparison. This is Chet's literal first, not literal. This is his actual first year.
That's fair.
Last year don't count. He came back for the playoffs last year.
That's fair. But that means he also had playoff experience last year.
Stop.
No, I'm dead ass. He had. So this is his second playoffs. That's what we're talking
Stop,
about.
bro.
That's his second.
A rookie coming back for the playoffs and playing one series is playoff experience?
It's a little bit. It's not.
No, bro.
It's not no
No.
experience.
No.
It's not
Yes,
no
it is.
experience.
Yes, it is.
And even
It's
so,
nothing.
that takes away from my. He's not a real big.
The bottom line is that it's risky.
Of course.
To move on. You know, that's really what both of y'all
My
are.
main question is it a valid question to ask?
It's a
think
valid,
so.
but the question,
Yeah.
the weight against that is, it's a valid question. Is it a valid risk? How much? I'm going to keep saying the phrase.
We'll see
How
in game
much are
2.
we giving up to make this happen?
We'll see in game 2. And that's the great thing about the finals is that we get to learn more and more every game. And that's basically what I'm saying for me is like, that's where to transition us out. That's what I'm looking for game 2 for. How do Chet and Jalen respond to this?
That's fair.
We'll find out on the next episode
see.
of the NBA Finals.
Also, I want to remind y'all that there is a champion on the Thunder's roster, so I'm not giving them that
I
excuse.
do know. Alex Caruso.
I'm not giving them that excuse.
Oh, there is.
They have a champion
There
over there.
is.
And he's a good champion too, mind you.
Fits in well for
A
them.
good
He's a
champion.
great fit for the team.
Huh.
Maybe he should even be in the starting lineup. But
Who, like I said, if there was an adjustment to be made, you know who did start Alex Caruso in the NBA Finals?
Who? Tell us, tell us, bro.
Tell us, Pharaoh.
Hey man, I'm just saying. And it looked crazy at the time. Everyone said, "Wait, what?"
I mean,
What's
listen,
what's my man's name again?
That wasn't ready. You could experiment.
Let's say
Frank
You had
Vogel.
room to experiment.
no. What's the? I was going to ask you.
Frank
Would old boy make that? Would old boy make that? That move?
Darvin Ham.
What's his name? Darvin Ham. Would
No.
Salute.
Hey,
Go hard on them boys.
Alex,
Hey.
you played hard on them boys. Salute.
Salute.
talking about he got shot at in the
God.
pregame in the
God.
preseason conference.
Do you think he's trying to
I'm
say
making this. I got shot at.
Giannis is out?
I want to know if any team has employed more.
He went to be honest. He said
Darvin Ham was not as bad
he
as
said
people
you're
said
really
he was.
playing
by
like
the
the
way.
Greek.
I'm standing
You're
on
really
that.
playing like the Greek freak. Salute. And
He was
Giannis said,
terrible.
no.
I want to know the stat.
He was the words at Thibs.
I want to know the stat. I want to know the stat if any franchise has hired more black coaches and given more chances to black coaches than the Lakers.
The Knicks.
That would be interesting. Well, I'll say this. Let's not forget, in the 2000s, you had a lot of black coaches.
We also had an all black front office.
There was a lot of black coaches.
Yeah, we did have an all black front office.
Yeah, there used to be the Dwayne Caseys. There used to be the Avery Johnsons. There used to be the
Avery Johnson. Oh my
who
God.
else?
Mike Woodson's.
Mike Woodson, Mike
man.
Brown.
Come on now.
But then you also used to have the Larrys
Facts.
Yeah,
Larry Brown.
and the Mike D'Antonis
that's true.
and the Doug Collins.
That's
It was
true.
mixed. It was mixed.
Listen, we're not saying that we've been,
Shout out Eric Spoelstra just standing out there.
whatever he's doing. Let's go, Eric.
What is Mike
Consistently
D'Antoni
too.
doing
They've
now?
never
All right, quick hitters.
Enjoy his
as we
money,
transition out. Quick hitters as we transition out. Knicks fans, take brief takes. This is not a time to become a Knicks podcast. Brief reactions to the Tom Thibodeau firing. Brief.
It's not a Knicks podcast. Well, this is the hottest topic in the NBA over the finals, right?
100%.
No, it's
I had
not.
people walking.
How is there
I had
a game
people.
winner
Listen.
in the finals? Shut up.
Listen.
People are now saying, Alan, what's your boy say? Alan, what's your boy say?
Alan,
What did
you
you
want to
say?
the podcast?
Oh,
I
what,
can't
about
do
the
it.
finals?
This man
Yeah.
just said that
What
this
is it?
Knicks coach is
Actually-
the hottest news in the NBA.
He's right.
And someone with a game
Well,
winner in
right.
the finals.
A couple things though. I don't know if I saw, but they said that this was the one of the lowest rating finals since '88. I think that would change though.
Yeah, but
I
it
did
won't
have
be
a book.
game 2. I promise you that.
I think that'll change.
I promise you that.
That'll change. And I do know a couple people who literally did not watch the finals and were kind of shocked that it was a good game. So
And they're gonna
is
be
what it
locked
is.
in tonight.
they
Watch.
better be. They
Or
better be.
tomorrow, I should say. No,
Go
yeah,
ahead,
tomorrow
Paul,
night.
about
Andre Blatch, come on, son.
Get your brief
Blast.
Knicks takeoff, please. Brief.
I like that Thibs is gone. Thank you for your service. You cost us the championship this year, personally. You personally.
At least the finals. Yes, he
At
did.
the bare minimum, the finals.
Yes, he did.
So, thank you for your service. We appreciate all that you did to help bring New York basketball back. But it's time.
Yes, we do.
No, you don't. No,
Yes,
you
we do.
don't.
Yes, we do.
Now it's time.
do.
to
You don't
move forward.
appreciate anyone once they're gone.
Let's
Not
get
a single
hold on,
person.
Andre. Hold
That's
on.
not true. That's
Hold on,
not
wait
true.
a second. Let me say this. Let me show you how much we really appreciate this guy. First of all, right? People are
Why
mixed
didn't you Brad Stevens him?
because
We don't want the Brad Stevens.
I don't think he would take that. And
Cop out.
Leon
Cop
Rose
out
did
answer.
a great job. Why
Cop
would we
out
Brad
answer.
Stevens him? Why
Who
would
said
we
he
Brad
didn't offer
Stevens
it
him?
to-
Leon
who said
Rose
they
is
didn't
doing
offer
a
it to him?
fantastic job. What are you talking about?
You know damn well they didn't offer it.
You
to
ain't gotta be.
No, I really
He
don't
don't gotta
think-
be
I
like
think
the
they
head.
did. I think they did.
That's a
Yeah.
Brad
This is a
Stevens
different
approach.
Knicks.
That's what he
This
said.
is
You
you're not
know
gonna.
they did it.
You're
You
not.
know
Gonna,
they
your
did it.
narrative of the Knicks is not gonna work. This is a different Knicks team. I fully believe they did it, and he was like, "Nah, I want to coach." And this is just
Hell
like
no.
this is just what's it called? A smoke screen, and it's not real. If you don't want me here, fire me. I believe Tom Thibodeau would have said something like that.
He 100% would have said something. Stubborn ass man.
Yeah, he is. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, what is wrong with It's not the same Knicks, man. You're not. Your narrative is not going to work. The Knicks are the heart of the city. Listen, let me say this. Right?
Keep telling him.
Let me say this, right? Tom Thibodeau. First of all, this is a mixed move amongst the Knicks fans. So let's get that out of the way. Number one. Number two, Tom Thibodeau is one of the greatest coaches in Knicks history.
Yes.
And I firmly believe that with all my heart. He's one of the greatest coaches in Knicks history.
But he's not the coach that's going to win.
But he needed to go.
Yes.
Needed more so than Darvin Ham needed to go from the lake. This man, yes. Tom Thibodeau did things. Tom Thibodeau did things that I don't think any other coach in NBA history would have done in the playoffs. I like honestly. Let me say this, right?
Just say it. Stop asking for permission. Okay. God damn it, say it.
All right. The things that make Tom Thibodeau the type of coach that could take a team from or an organization from garbage to relevant are the same qualities that prevent him from being a championship type of coach. It's the same exact qualities. The stubbornness allows him to require a certain level of effort and excellence from the players that are on the team, right? Like if Tom Thibodeau was on the Wizards, they would be a playoff team. I fully believe that, right? Because he demands a certain level of excellence because he's stubborn. I don't care about how nice you are. You need to play harder. You need to play deep. You need to be in better condition. That's the type of things that he requires, right? But that same stubbornness prevents him from making literal obvious adjustments that people who don't even know basketball would make.
Correct.
And need to make in the playoffs.
Like run your bench. Use your bench.
Even when the bench shows you that they are actually playing better than the starters.
Do the two of you have anything novel and unique to say about this situation?
Novel?
Novel? What do you mean by novel? What do you mean by novel in this situation? I mean, like, you get your Lakers takes off all the time. Your Darvin Ham phase.
Tom Thibodeau.
I just poke for Alan's entertainment at this point when you come up. That's all I do is try to entertain Alan.
Trying to entertain another man? You got to relax. What's going on here?
Hey,
so you think our whole podcast audience is women?
I think we're just trying to put out great
Yeah.
I think we're trying to put out great product.
Got you there. Caught him.
But
Hey,
look, the last
we
one
entertain men weekly.
Why is it that?
Why would I?
Yo! All right.
In our comments, there's men that talk to us. They talk to us while we're entertaining them. They direct what they want to hear. They want to be heard.
That's enough. You got to
They like us. They subscribe to us.
Why?
Yo, take a break. Take a break.
Hold on.
This is 5 minutes from a bench.
In June, how dare you?
All right, it's June.
But no. But this is the last thing I'll say. Last thing, right? Tom Thibodeau is one of the greatest coaches we've had. Yes, it is. It is.
And he backed up every word.
Why?
He did.
Yeah, but Michael Beasley was wild. But
yo, Nomad, hold on real quick. Nomad, you're not slick. I see what you said. You see what y'all did, Michael Beasley. I see what you're doing, and that's nasty work.
Anyway,
he said you see what y'all did, Michael Beasley.
Anyway,
that's nasty work.
Why? Listen, all I'm last thing I'm
going over a lot of y'all heads.
It's going over my head.
I'm trying to move on.
This guy's crazy.
I'm not gonna hold it's going over my head.
Listen. All I'm going to say. All I'm gonna say is, Tom Thibodeau, thank you for your services. I don't want us to make any changes. I don't want Giannis. I don't want KD. I just want a different coach because I fully believe we have that. I said we're going to win the chip before the year started because I fully believe that we had enough to win the chip, but we need somebody that's going to utilize the bench correctly. That's it. And and stagger the minutes between Cat and Jalen. Like that worked the few times he did it. He just didn't want to do it. So shout out Tom Thibodeau.
You do want to see?
I think he should retire. and relax.
Oh, it's over for him.
Yeah,
You're not.
What?
Beat the private chat.
What?
Yeah.
Oh.
He's insane.
No, I saw. I get it. I just think
insane.
there's no publicly
not in Julia.
like there's no information to confirm that.
That's why he's a crazy person.
There's this man had me Googling.
He tried to sneak that in there. This guy's insane.
All right, we off that. Paul, who do you want to see as the next coach? We off that, man.
What's their reaction? What's their reaction? They say this funny guy in the comments.
He has nothing new to say.
Hear your reaction.
We got it.
Oh.
He doesn't even know what the word.
Oh, my reaction to
the. No, he doesn't have anything novel to say.
I mean, just real quick, I'm gonna say I kind of expected this. Like they made it to the conference finals, but let's not forget, like the Knicks did, like kind of like underperform during the season. Like Ro loves to say on the podcast, they couldn't beat any of the elite teams. So like I feel like he was, and I've been saying to you, Paul, the whole time. I feel like he's on the hot seat. So I think it was a long time coming. If they made it to the finals, he would have saved his job, but it wasn't. I think he was on his way out, no matter what. Because if you really look back at it, like the first 2 rounds, the Knicks won those rounds off like the players, like like they come out fighting. Like when it came to it with the versus the Indiana Pacers, it was like a coaching matchup, and Thibs like lost really badly. The first 2 rounds, the players were able to gut it out and like just fight to win. Coming back from 20 and everything, it was like dog fights to win. But when it came to it, and he had to like, they couldn't do that, and it had to be like a coaching match. Thibs didn't have it, so I'm not surprised that he's out. I kind of saw that it was coming.
Tom Thibodeau earned his fire.
Yeah, 100%. And I don't think there's any question about it. Or if
unlike Mike Malone and Taylor Jenkins.
Can we advance to who you want?
Those 2 names specifically. I want Mike Malone first and foremost, and if not Mike Malone, then Jenkins. That's it.
Who do you want?
Jenkins. I want Mike Malone.
Pause.
I want Taylor Jenkins.
All right. Quick reaction.
Wait, what about Jason Kidd? They talking about
We're talking a lot about Jason Kidd.
I don't think it's gonna happen, but
I don't want it to happen.
Is he coaching currently?
Yeah, he's coaching.
Yeah, he's still there. He's still.
We got to trade. We got to trade for Jason Kidd.
That's a fact. They're thinking about trading Rick Brunson.
The Knicks trading for a coach is a very Nick thing.
They want Rick. They're gonna ask.
Y'all remember that happened? Y'all remember that happened with Dr. Rivers a couple years ago?
Yes.
It was wild. Yeah. Everyone that was possible.
If Rick Brunson stays on the new coaching staff, then I know for a fact they didn't offer Thibs a front office position.
You can't say that.
We definitely can't say that. His son's still on the team. What you mean?
Last thing, do y'all credit any of the NBA rumors floating around? I'll just start rattling off names. The Giannis rumors.
I'm trying not to read too much into it.
So weird.
Try not to read too much into
any of the places that they are associating him with.
They're associating with a lot of. Everyone's associating him with every team. I've seen him with the Knicks. I've seen him with. It is. I've seen him associated with the Spurs. I've seen him. There was a rumor about Toronto. I've seen a rumor about.
I was going to get to that one next about the KD Giannis link up in Toronto with the man.
Go ahead and do that.
It's not going to go anywhere.
Go ahead and do that.
Listen, man, I don't know.
That didn't scare y'all a little bit.
In the East?
Giannis and KD linking up. That didn't scare. That didn't put no fear in your heart.
I think they're going to buck heads more than anything.
Nope.
Really do.
Nope.
I really do.
This is a different day and age, man. I'm telling you. This is a different day and age. Different day and age. You get a bunch of names to get. I don't want Giannis on the Knicks. I don't want KD on the Knicks. I like the roster we have, not just because of like what I saw from the bench in the playoffs, but because we got 2 guys.
Defenders.
Wait, hold on. No, we got defenders on the. We got them. He just didn't play them. That's what I'm trying to say.
The only name that I want to see them go after for a pick to add to the team, Cam Thomas. I'm sorry, not Thomas. Cam Johnson. Cam Johnson from the Nets.
You're not getting him.
Yeah.
I know, but that's what I want to see him go after.
We don't even need. Look. Tyler.
Give us 6 picks again.
Tyler Kolek is probably like the
you
second
need a
best
backup point guard.
Tyler Kolek
is
arguably the second best. That's what I'm trying to tell you. When you watch the Knicks, for real, you know they have enough. It's just that Thibs did not maximize.
Play the team.
Tyler Conickle's the best player in the summer league.
Now back to the Knicks.
Because you're asking about the Knicks.
You said y'all need something.
I asked if Giannis and KD in Toronto put fear in your heart, and now we're talking about backup.
You just
point
said
guard.
that's a fact.
That's
need
the
a backup
answer.
point
This is
guard.
why we're
You
not
just
scared.
said that. You said that. Okay.
Anyway,
That's why we're not scared.
Skinny Luka.
That's different. I don't know what that means. I don't know because he's gonna
Have
come
you
back.
seen it?
I've seen it.
I saw the pick. I saw the pick.
He might come back to the league. Listen. I've seen people say if it wasn't for the rest of the league needs to thank God for American fast food. Apparently, that's what I've seen people say.
What we gonna see, man? They say this about someone every year.
I have never seen pictures though.
Yeah, good point. But we gonna
That
see.
man lost his double chin.
I remember.
I've never seen someone lose their double chin. Have you ever in life seen someone's jawline come back?
Yes, when they're young, when they lose weight young, yes.
Yeah, I've seen that happen.
When they lose weight young enough.
That man's beard finally is cut to his jaw and not his neck.
That's crazy.
I said his barber took stock. His barber said, "Hold on, I got you."
The Rockets aren't doing anything.
Let me ask this: do you think there's any fear out in the league seeing that?
What?
Skinny Luka.
No.
No.
I don't think.
Wait, let me ask a general question. Do you think there is fear in the league associated with Luka at all?
Yes, but not for Skinny Luka. I think if there comes a summer mixtape where I see him start doing what Drew Holiday was doing. Remember last summer where they put out the Drew Holiday mixtape? If I see Luka come out and pin block you, then turn around and just cross you up and hit a three, I'm terrified. Best player in the league, hands down. If I see this man play, if I see this man develop 50% defensive bag, yes. There should be genuine fear.
This is the LeBron regimen.
You've seen that said? You think this
they
man
were together on the last
chamber?
episode of Mind the Game?
Do you think that LeBron has him sleeping in a hyperbolic? He's got him locked
They were together
in a
on the last Mind the Game pod.
LeBron probably gave him like his trainer's number and some. Yeah, that's not.
He gave him somebody's number.
Yeah, he gave him his trainer.
He gave him his own number. He said, "I'm gonna take care of you."
No, it wasn't his number. He gave him somebody's number and a referral.
No more of this.
He gave him a referral.
No. He gave him a blank business card and he said, "You show up at this address tomorrow morning at 6:30
in
and
Germany.
Your life is gonna change."
In Germany.
In Germany.
Oh man.
I didn't say you.
Might have been spinning them blood platelets. Y'all know about the blood platelets?
Yes.
Spinning that blood?
Yep.
Don't tell them that.
Yep.
That's why I say, Alan, yeah, they say it often, but he got a different plug, and we ain't never seen pictures before. We ain't never seen it. That man's t-shirt fit differently. That man's tattoos are different sizes.
Yo, you said don't tell him that you know me. That's mad funny.
You don't think that puts a little fear? If Luka in first pregame season dunks,
oh my god!
Weird.
I'm telling you,
test immediately.
I'm telling you right now. That's not
piss in this cup right now.
I'm telling you, that doesn't scare me. That doesn't
right now, Luka.
But like I tell you what, people already have a fear of Luka, but I don't think it adds on to it until we see him do something.
No. I'm not gonna lie, it does. Because if he shows up defensively because of
that's what I'm saying.
If that's what I'm saying, like I gotta see it first. But like right now, just knowing that he's skinnier,
all I need is a Chris Brickley dunk drill video of him just doing like catching the ball and dunking like off the verge.
I want a true.
Send me a Chris Brickley dunk drill video with Luka. I
don't care about that.
Listen, I'm gonna get on my bully.
I want a true psychopaths like mixtape of him just making good defensive plays for 3.5 minutes. Just 3.5 minutes of him getting nothing but stops.
I don't even need to see the defense in action. I just need to see his feet leave the ground consistently.
Correct.
If I see a video of him doing a dunk drill or like that full court layup drill that Bron does, let me see.
Full court back and forth. What?
Let me see Luka running up and
What?
down the court,
What?
doing a fast break layup. You have lost your mind.
Oh man.
I was ready to see that. How'd you see that? He was out the frame. How'd you see that?
You've lost your mind. Anyway, last rumor. What? Chris Paul.
I didn't see
What is it about Chris Paul?
Chris Paul was at a golf
done?
tournament yesterday, and they asked him, "Yo, you think you're done?" And he's like, "No, I think I still want to play a little bit." They said, "Well, what do you think? You're a free agent?" He said, "Well, I've been away from my family for 6 years."
Oh,
So that's the conversation that we're having.
Where's
Does
that,
his
LA?
family live in LA?
oh.
Does that get you excited? Like he's
gonna retire on the Clippers.
Going back to the Clippers, baby.
going back to the Clippers.
Josh, get
Haven't
excited.
y'all learned by now?
Where are the
Listen,
Clippers fans at?
haven't y'all learned by now that every player who we've ever photoshopped into a jersey, whether it's on time or late, they eventually end up in the jersey?
Listen, I haven't seen Giannis in that jersey. There are mad people that you put in that jersey. You put Trey in that jersey. You
And
put Giannis
every
in that
single
jersey.
one of them, whether it's on time or late, eventually end up in the jersey.
I don't believe it.
As a
I don't
Knicks
believe
fan,
it. I've seen mad
It's
people.
better never than
Mad
late.
people.
I'll tell you that.
Dwight Howard, Melo, LeBron,
And it never works out except for LeBron.
Except for LeBron. And that with
Steve
an
Nash.
asterisk.
Doesn't work out.
Dwight Howard doesn't work out. Come on, man.
It's better
Yeah,
never
but
than
that's
late.
gonna be- You tell me Chris Paul as our backup point guard behind Luka. We have 48 minutes of point guard play. Luka
pretty
Doncic
good.
and Chris Paul.
That's pretty good.
I don't see it
I
happening.
don't know. In 20, I don't know.
Let's see.
That's backup. He playing. He give you 20 minutes. That's pretty good.
What if he's such a cone on the defensive end that it won't matter?
Don't matter. We're gonna get a big that's gonna swat all of that.
He-
Alan,
that's
I'm
why
gonna thank
finally
you.
get more
Alan,
money.
I want to see what
Alan,
they
I
see.
want to thank you in advance for Nick Claxton.
Oh, please.
Yo!
That's
it. And with that, Fastbreaks family.
Thank you for Dorian. Thank you for Dorian.
Yeah.
We'll take his buddy as well. Thank you very much for that.
Y'all are not getting Nick Claxton. We getting mad pitch from Nick Claxton.
Would you take Nick Claxton for Austin Reeves today, right now, straight up?
No. What's Austin Reeves gonna do for my team? Nah.
What is Nick doing?
He's an asset. He's getting his picks. He is getting his mad picks. And he's very good defensively.
He's
getting.
one
You
of the
wouldn't
better
take
defenders
Austin
at
Reeves
position.
for Nick Claxton today?
If I get just Austin Reeves just alone for Nick Claxton, that's a bad trade.
Agreed. Honestly,
I
actually
don't agree with that. Not even a little bit.
I agree.
What
with
if you
that.
get? Oh,
What
yeah,
is
what?
Austin
This guy's insane. This guy's crazy.
What is
You think
Austin gonna do for
you think
me?
Austin Reeves is going to be the face of the Nets?
Is Nick Claxton the face of the Nets?
Right
Austin
now?
Reeves would definitely be the face of the Nets.
Without a doubt.
And that's good to y'all. I should be excited about that. I like Austin
Him and
Reeves,
Cam
but
Thomas will get you. Listen. I don't know what the
Get me
Knicks
where?
are
wins.
Get me where?
36
Get me
wins.
where?
playing.
Exactly. Y'all want to be hyped for 36 wins?
But what are you?
No,
what
man.
are y'all trying to do? What are y'all trying to do?
What did you have this year? 12?
Assets.
Assets for what? Assets for what though?
For a trade, or I want picks. Assets for a trade or picks.
Yo,
Or cap
What if we
space.
give you,
Yo,
what if we give you
By the way,
AR and Rui?
we have two max cap space, and I think after next year. Why do I
What-
want Austin Reeves, who's coming up for a big extension?
In
That
this,
messes
in
up my whole
this,
plan.
What if we give you AR and Rui?
No, they're not doing nothing for me. I'm just taking back mad money. I don't want mad
Rui
money.
is
You
a
wanna
lot.
suck-
That's
you
not
think
mad
it's
money.
20
Rui's
you think
making
it's 2012.
14 million
You
a
get-
year
getting a
For how
superstar
long?
alone, getting two
for 2
superstars.
years.
If it's an expiring contract, maybe Rui,
Austin's
maybe
making 18.
Austin's up for a big extension.
he is.
You're not gonna max. He's not gonna ask for a max.
It's not. No,
He
it's
said
not
they're
gonna
going
be
to
a
bring
max,
up
but that's
Sabrina
still taking
one
the
day.
cap
That's
space.
mad funny.
That's still taking. And Paul, I know what you're saying. Two
Much better.
superstars. Two super.
If
You're
it
right
would be
about
the
two
Nets, that's
superstars.
not
But if
bringing
I
her
have-
up. That's assigning her
I-
down.
If I take
That's hate.
that's crazy.
But
But
At the bare
It's a
minimum,
fact.
that's lateral movement.
It's
At the bare,
not even. That's assigning her down for reps.
not what the salary she would get, but I see what you're saying about the two superstars, Paul. But at the very least, we can get one superstar, one with the max cap space, and use the rest for like other mid-level talent.
right.
Matter of fact, John
Yo.
Quell got hurt. She might need to practice with the Nets before she gets right.
All right. Well, with that, I gotta. Dip.
I'm not even gonna do this because I fuck with the Liberty. So you're really not saying nothing to me.
You tell him, Alice.
Go Nets, go Liberty. Barclays. I'll see y'all there.
All of that. But the Knicks still have the heart of the city.
And apropos, we're gonna end the pod as we always do. Light it up.
Peace.
Fastbreaks. Listen. We back with another one. Fast breaks, yeah, we coming with the takes. Never early, never late, but we always push the pace, yeah. And we really study tape, y'all just view the highlights. Man, we really watching games, yeah. You just watch from the stands. We run 3-man weeks, Paul, Dre, and Allen, yeah. Way more than a fan. We got love for the game, we don't have to pretend. Got it out the mud like you get it off the glass. I'm the run the fast break, throw me the outlet. Yeah, we got it out the mud like you get it off the glass. Time to run the fast break, throw me the outlet.